are you? This is Jilly Bling, and I have a new little grouping of projects using Earthen Textures bundle. So what do you think? I saw this online from Laura Seki. And she made this black and white card, and I love it. I changed it up just a little bit using some of the holographic silver papers. And it's going to use Earthen Texture Bundle and also sending mostly just for the words, the label for the words. But Earthen Textures came out as a demonstrator. We could order it in advance, the pre-order, and everyone went crazy about it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And then everyone was available to get it a month later, and it sold out. It was on back order, but it's available now. And a lot of the samples you see on the internet are using this beautiful designer paper. So I don't know if you know, in your catalog on page 3, there is a product suite listing, and I use this all the time to find what page number items are on. So the Earthen Elegance is on page 70 and 71. The product suite, which is 74.25, includes all the items shown: designer paper, wavy trim, and the bundle. You can also get just the bundle, and that is $54.75. So a lot of fun. So today's project is of course using the bundle and then sending just for the word label. So you ready to give this a try? So here's the papers. Oh, I love these gems. These are adhesive back sparkle gems. Kind of like a copper gold, black, and silver. I love these. We'll be using those. So let's just start with the card base. Oh, exposed brick embossing folder. Can't get enough of that. So this is thick white cardstock. And this, I'm making this in a grouping of 3, and you can get card kits, which are all of the papers cut or die cut already. Order using host code, and if you can order before, I'll put all the details in the description, order before the middle of August, August 15th. Okay, so this is for these holographic silver bits. So 1, 2, and then this little handle, 3 parts. And this long die, which you would think is for the long pot, which it is. We'll use that in just a minute. I just want the bottom part of it. Then these pieces, let me put the big ones on first. And then this piece right here. Now cut those out. Isn't that pretty? You're like, wait a minute. That looks different. We're going to stamp on them using StazOn. But let's get a few other pieces done. How about doing the white pieces? So on this paper here, I will cut this kind of fern, this piece, 2 of these, and then the long one. This one. You know, it's like a puzzle. Gotta figure it out. And that one, and then the words. You know, Might as well do the words on here. That's what scrap paper is good for, right? So with Stays On, I'm going to do the thank you, and I love this font. Okay, when you're looking at this die and you're looking at the stamp, you're like, that's not going to work, but it does. It works. And notice how I left a little extra room over here? That's because the die is a little bit long. The last thing I want to do is stamp right at the edge, and then it wouldn't be centered. The words would not be centered in the die. Okay. So let's get these pieces die cut. And this long piece that I cut, I used this die. See the texture on that? To put some texture on here. And after I cut it, I stamped it. And there's a reason for that. Let me show you. Because if you cut it first, well, see, this is another cool thing. If you stamp it, then cut it, because we're using Stays On, it leaves a little bit of ink right here in the edge. And I found out because I did this one, and see how dirty the edges are? There, white on white. And then the same with this one. The edges are just dirty. That's because the Stays On stayed in here. So to remove that, these are going to go. To remove that, I have my handy dandy, used for years, cloth. It goes in the washer every few weeks or so. Get a little bit of liquid from, this is hand sanitizer. Any hand sanitizer will do. And then just clean out the edges. So you could stamp it first and then die cut it, or you could die cut it, then stamp it. But if you're aware of that and you're not distraught like I am, where you look down and you're like, how did it get dirty? And also, since I'm talking about hand sanitizer, did you know, do you ever have a block and it's got like little bits of glue and ink left over? If you hand sanitize it, it cleans it. If you have stays or blends or Stays on something, here, this is going to make some of you cringe, but I have a fix for it. Oh, I got alcohol marker on it, or I got Stays on my block. If you take your hand sanitizer, well, I don't know where it went, and look at that, comes right off. So during COVID, I mentioned to the girls, you know, every time I get my blocks back, I sanitize them. So they're probably thinking, oh my gosh, who does that? What a good girl. But really, it's just because I don't want any residue on here. And I don't like it when there's, like right here, there's a little bit of, I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody had glue on their hand. Just take it, rub it, and now it's all gone. So, hand sanitizer is a good thing in your stamp room. This one I haven't cleaned, but it looks fine. But there's a little bit something right there. But before I put my blocks away, I sanitize them. Okay. Carry on, carry on. Okay, and that die, which is kind of fun, if you stamp on white paper, the die is smaller than the stamped image. So that means I get stamped image all the way to the edges. Pretty cool, huh? This one I stamped with this stamp. This one for the inside, it's kind of decorated. I put this stamp right over the top of it. And we'll be doing that on this piece right here. Let's do that because the Stays On takes just a minute to dry. The inside and outside piece, that I just wanted to show you how fun that stamp set is. These we're going to stamp. This one and this one. And like I said, it takes just a minute to dry. Stays On. Big stamp. Oh, a note about hand sanitizer, because I looked at this and I'm like, oh, you're going to be inclined to put hand sanitizer on your rubber. If you can, don't do that, because the alcohol in the hand sanitizer will dry out the rubber, and we want the rubber to remain rubbery and stamp worthy. There is Stays On cleaner if it bugs you, but personally when I have a stained stamp, I know it's going to work good. A stained stamp in my world is better than a brand new stamp. It works better. Okay, so Stays On. And stamp it right over the top. Hopefully I didn't miss an edge. I think on the sample I did. Oh, that looks good. Even if it isn't straight. Good. And I'm going to make this shorter because see how this one is shorter? I like the tall, medium, a little less than medium in height. So this is a little decoration on here. Okay, and then for the big fan, okay, that could just sit over there and dry. And it dries pretty quick. It kind of is a little bit tacky, but the inked image is on there and it doesn't smear. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. I kind of like it all silvery looking too. Maybe I'll just not do as much on this one. Okay. How is that? Maybe a little more? No, it's kind of going the wrong direction. Okay. Trying to do it as less. Okay, so I think the stamping on the front is done. I'm going to let those dry. So, oh, and check out this. This holographic. I ran that die, the one that does the texturing. I'm like, I wonder what it would look like on the holographic paper. That is cool. Didn't use it, but I like the look. Okay, let's see. Oh, texture. Let's texture. This has the exposed brick embossing folder. Let's texture that. This one is holding my pieces just perfect, so I'm going to pull out this black one. Exposed brick. Up and down. And I'll put all the paper cut sizes on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. Okay. There's exposed brick. Isn't that fun? Can you see it? I know it's kind of hard to see black. Okay, let's start building this card. How about if we build just the front? Just because this paper is so perfectly holding pieces. So this one is going to go on with dimensionals. We still have Bruiser. I hear him over there taking a little nap. His parents are coming home today. later tonight. It's funny, he has a, I call it his house. I don't want to say a cage at all. Because he started out where he would sleep in his crate. Then he got bigger and it got to be a little bit of a bigger crate. And now it's more just a wire enclosed cage. Cage sounds bad because he loves it. And they put his little comfort bed in there, which is, I think it's like one of those anti-anxiety beds. Not that he has anxiety, but he loves that thing. And he could be over there sleeping on the couch with Bo. He could be doing all kinds of things, but he chooses to go into his house and sleep in his comfort bed. Okay, so I'm going to use my paper cutter to make this shorter because I don't want it bigger. So I'm going to cut it right at the top of that leaf we stamped. And you know, every time I cut the sample, it kept looking crooked. And this one looks crooked too, but I used my paper cutter that has a grid on it, so I know it's straight, but I don't know why it looks crooked. But after it gets decorated, no one will see crooked. Okay, that could go right about there. Okay, let's start decorating, putting stuff in these. Oh, and then this thing. Did you know, when I turn it over, see all these little perforations? These are perforations right here. Those are perforations, and these are just score lines. So, if you take a minute to fold them, it's very impressive. So, I'm gonna... And I was trying to do this with my snips. See, it's kind of sticky. This stays on. It's not transferring. I'll start with the middle one. So I'm putting the perforation part, I'll put that upward. And then the rest where I'm putting the score line going up, and the perforation will drop down. Hopefully, in just a minute. And at the end here, I have a little trick to help out keeping the texture of this. Because you know, if it goes on a flat card front, is it going to be flat? Maybe, but this helps out a little. So even if you have the edge of your scissors rather than a ruler, this ruler, my brother, he used to work in a print shop, and I would come in and I'd ask him, can you cut all this paper in half for me? And of course he would. We do it after hours and everything. But he always had this little ruler in his pocket of his shirt, working in the print room, or the print room, print shop. And one time he goes, here, I think you need this. And I'm like, well, thank you. Because I'm used to having cute rulers, or my favorite one, I still use it. Just like a little handy ruler. I use this all the time. But because he was giving it to me, and as he gave it to me, I thought, oh, he's giving me a treasure, I can just tell. So it sat in my little caddy where I keep all my scissors and pencils and all my basic things for, oop, that one ripped, for probably over a year. I don't think I did this one. And just recently I've started using it. Oh my gosh, I love this little thing. And I'm not sure why I love it so much. But it works out well. Okay, so yeah, there you can see how doing the scores going upwards and the perforations going downwards, how it really made it look kind of 3D. So this is going to go right about here. So I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on the fan part. One in the middle at the top. Maybe the 3rd one in, then from the edge the 3rd one. But what seems to be the trick is a glue dot, or 2 glue dots, right here in the middle. And that kind of pulls it downward, and that keeps the fan kind of in that shape. Probably until we get it into the envelope, but you know, gotta try. So let me see, will that tuck into there? Sometimes I put glue dots in just the wrong place, which might be the case here. So I want it sticking out over the edge a little bit. Lean in over here. Okay, see how that glue dot keeps it ziggle-zaggle? And then this, I'm going to cut it so it will just barely tuck into there. Let go, glue dot. Okay, there it is. And now these white pieces just kind of get, and I know I'm going to run into dimensionals. Oh, that one's good. Maybe. I want it more over here. Liquid glue. I'm going to do mostly just the middle of the fern because I'm fine with all these little fern bits kind of sticking up and make it look 3D. Oh my gosh, Bruiser is snoring. It's so cute. He's going, ooh, ooh. Oh, now he stopped. He's like, what is that noise? Then this grass. Maybe some, that'll look like an accident. This black and white is looking all tidied, tailored, and kind of perfect. This one I kind of wanted over the pot, so I'm going to cut off from here on down. And again, just gluing some of it, not all of it, just enough to hold it. Okay, and one more. This one can be a little tall, maybe. I don't like how that's... Okay. On the next project, we'll use some of the designer paper that goes with this product suite, this bundle. Okay. Cute. Now the words. The words can go. And this one, I purposely put it over the lip of the pot just because I thought that coming out, I don't know. Maybe I should try something different. How about right here? Right there. Okay, so glue, that's like a double dimensional. Single dimensional, double dimensional. Well, then double. Okay, so the kids, they're on their honeymoon. You're like, wait a minute, you just got back from Cabo. That's like honeymoon central and wedding central. You're right. But they wanted this, and they wanted to do a road trip, and there's this this fair, and they kind of have a country music festival at the fair, 3 days long. And my son's favorite artist, Wetzel, was there. So they had the best time. Their vehicle wasn't working that good, so Tony said, here, use my truck. Okay, great, fine, they're doing good. So we've been chatting with them every day, and I don't know if I should be proud of this or embarrassed about this, but it certainly is interesting. On the side of the truck, I'll start out with the, yeah, that's great. On the side of the truck it says, newlyweds, our honeymoon. Okay, that's great. So they have like beeping cars and everything. But besides that, they wrote M and E from Michaela and Evan, 2023 Venmo. Okay, so I thought, really? And they're like, we're not going to get any money. We're not expecting anything. They woke up in the morning, they had money deposited in their Venmo account from just random people driving down the road. So at first I thought, well, that's funny, that's amusing. Okay, well, good for you. But then I thought, wait a minute, and I'm hoping that they don't listen to this. And in some ways, I'm kind of like, you can't do that. But then in other ways, I'm like, well, go get it. Well, this embossing folder is interesting. So when I'm looking at it here, the bricks are popped up. They're popped up here, and I use the other side. Well, I guess that's right, where you want the grout. Because if this is like exposed brick and it's kind of like a artsy place, this is where the mortar is coming out, I think. I don't know if there's a right or wrong. Anyhow, the kids kept on getting rained out from all these concerts. They would say, okay, wait an hour. So they would go out to the truck at the fair, wait for an hour, and then the concert would be back on. Okay. And they're having a great time. And I guess this happens all the time to them. Or at this concert, at this Midwest. So they said that their little message, the honeymoon message, it kept on getting erased from all the weather. So they were having to put it on like every hour or so. Anyhow, that's my funny story. Okay, it just needs bling. A little bit of bling. Aren't these pretty? These are my new favorite. They're a little expensive. And I say that just relative to other things. Other ones are, these I think are 7 or 9 cents each. But I lost some of the sparkle. It's kind of, must have gotten the rain or something. The sparkle was coming out of the side of the gem. Okay, and how about a couple of little silver ones? Aren't those pretty? That's like the icing on the cake. I know, Lori, you're telling me, put it over there. Lori talks to her screen and she tells me the things I need to know. Thanks, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, outside is done. So the card is 4 1/4 by 11. This piece is, let me get my handy dandy ruler. This piece is 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. And same with the inside piece. But just the way that things are, because there's the fold that takes up a little bit of room, just about no matter what you do, it's going to hang over. I guess unless I cut it maybe, see right here, unless I cut it maybe a 1/36 of an inch or something, 64, something ridiculously small. but I think it's easier. We'll have to do this on the inside too. Just give it a little trim. That's about the thickness of the fold. There, now it's perfect. I love this card. I love this card, love it, love it. Okay, let's do the inside. Oh, and I stuck that together. Isn't that cute? With these two stamped over each other. A little bit of sparkle from the outside, sparkly, and a little bit right here. And I want to put that really delicate little fern. Oh, and then the words. Did you notice the words on this set? Cute font. Who would have done a small O with the line underneath it, or the A? Maybe it's vowels. No, not all of them. But I'm loving it. Great words. So let's do, thank you, let's do, you are proof there is good in the world. Love that. Oh, I have something else to show you. This card started out being a fun fold. And I wasn't having fun doing this fold. And I kept trying. Finally, I took all the papers. I put the pile back there. I took all the papers and I said, let's start over. And I have just a pile of all the papers because I'm kind of mad at that pile. I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, that's good. And where's that delicate little, this one. This is going to go like right next to the words, and there's plenty of room for the pot to cover it. Isn't that sweet? Wait till I show you how delicate this is. I'm sure that the stamp box will show you, but isn't that sweet? Love it. Then this goes on with a dimensional. Okay, let me show you this. Then I'll put that together. Okay, just a minute. Hold on. Okay, so you're probably knowing why I don't love it. Look at that. Cute, huh? But this piece out's kind of going out like that. This not letting it all the way close. Yeah, the fold, it kept on these panels kept popping up. I glued them down, but that makes it so they're a little bit stiff. So this piece just kind of tucks into here. Anyhow, I wasn't having fun with this fold. See how there's just a little slit. Yeah, so I will send this to someone. Whoever is first person to place an order using Earthen Textures, this is coming your way. Yeah, and if you're going to order it, leave me a comment. I'm ordering it, and whoever says that first, I will put this in with your thank you card to say thank you for taking my not so fun fold. Yeah, I'm still mad at that. And you know, that's funny. Usually in my room, I'm happy as can be in here, and things work out just fine, really well. As a matter of fact, the last few weeks, everything has been working out better than I thought. Like, oh yeah, that's going to be okay. But then when I do it, it's like, oh, I love that. The August projects, the around the corner or around the bend project, I don't know why I didn't jump into that sooner, because it turned out so cute. And then the other one with the Friends with Coffee, the coloring one, I don't know why I didn't buy those stamp sets or bundles before, because I love that card. So I've had a lot of unexpected success, but this one was unexpected. Okay, so I'm looking at the top. making sure it closes. I don't think I could put it up any higher, but I've got a bunch to trim off there. I probably should have put my white panel higher too. Oop, TV went back on. To accommodate for that. Boy, that's loud. Well, I'm almost done here. I think my husband likes the TV loud. Just saying, with a smile. Yeah. Okay, so that. And I'll trim this off. And then I think we're done. Okay. That TV's really loud. Okay, that is it for today's project. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.